Hi, welcome. This is the overall weekly reading for March 3rd to the 10th. And I always pay attention to my feelings before I pull any cards. And if you can hear in the background, there's subtle banging going on upstairs. But it's very in tune to the message that I was picking up before even shuffling the cards, getting everything set up, is that we've all been working really hard and we've been literally banging away trying to accomplish so much. And so it's no surprise the minute I started doing this reading, there was like very low banging going on from upstairs that they're working hard. And it just put an exclamation point that we're working so hard on accomplishing all these things. And not only that, but this week Mercury goes in retrograde. But I don't think that's going to affect what we get done. In fact, I feel really rooted and I feel very concerned with the material and the physical and all the things that we need to get done. So I think even with this Mercury retrograde, things can go wonky, communications, writings, the traveling, things like that. Give yourself more time to get to places. You might have to change plans, things like that. But it's also a great time to be more meticulous with the details, go over things, review things. No surprise, we're all going to be doing probably our taxes, reviewing financials. Um, but all of this, I feel like we're really concerned with um, over, the particulars, the details, making sure everything is working out. When we go from A to Z, it's really paying attention to A, B, C, D, all the steps. So we're very focused, I guess is what I'm trying to say, very into the details, very grounded and rooted. And so, with that said, just keep that in mind when we're getting everything done. We're going to be feeling very centered, grounded, rooted in doing all the steps necessary to achieve all this in the material and the physical. So, we're not in the sky, up there and removed. We're very in our body. And I think we're going to be very much in our body and very much in our work. And that's where our attention and our energy is focused. So this reading I pulled, it was very interesting. I was usually use other cards, but I always know, and I'll share this tip, when I'm pulling cards, if I don't feel like a rush of a light energy coming into me or a lightness flooding my body, I know it's not the right deck. I almost feel like your body tells you if you have the right deck to get your messages. So I always feel like a wave of something coming into my body, knowing it's the right deck. So I started with another deck, and then I switched to the Fenestra, and I feel like it's really clear. A lot of cards flew out more than usual. I'll explain it all. I just looked at the cards briefly, but I'll go through each card and get the picture. And then I also picked energy cards. And then I have a whole bunch of other additional cards to pull as well as, to see if needed as we go along. I'll see where the reading goes. But let's start right away. Again, I understand we're all working really hard and to accomplish a lot. And the first card, a lot of major arcanas came up. The first one is the Star card, which, oh my gosh, I mean, to start this off from the very beginning, what a gorgeous card. And it's, the stars are shining on you. You're on your right path. You're very balanced. You're listening to your intuition and divine guidance, and you've gone through this whole journey of working very hard, and finally the stars are shining upon you. You're doing a really good job. You're in line with your divine guidance again, and it's coming from a very balanced place, and she almost has one foot on the ground and one in the water, and it shows like you're properly almost balanced with all of this, all that you're trying to achieve, and the stars are aligned for you right now. So whatever you're working on and going for, the energy is really good. It's flowing. You're firmly planted, but then also your emotions are balanced through it all, and you're just perfectly in line and in sync. And keep following whatever path, whatever you've been working on. Know that the stars are shining along on this path and on you. And so keep doing what you're doing. That's really what I'm feeling from this card. It's just almost see this gorgeous image. Hold on to this image. Like, this is who you are all through next week. No matter what happens, hold on to this vision of being firmly planted on the ground, 1 foot in the water, and look at the flow of this card, you know, and perfectly in sync with all that's going on around you. For some reason, for this reading, for some reason, that's what's coming up for me. And also, there's so much going on around. I know I'm getting a different meaning from this card, but it's just remain almost in this perfectly balanced, peaceful state. That's what I'm getting from this card too. Remain just really, no matter how much has to be done, no matter all the crazies around, remain in this very peaceful, flowing state, very grounded, but yet in touch with your emotions, and the swirl of all that's going around. No, remain in this state. I mean, she's perfectly poised and balanced. And I think with all that we're trying to accomplish, it's really getting into this state of mind and being all through next week, and getting all done. She's very calmly doing both at the same time as well in this picture. I know I'm getting different meanings intuitively from this, but she's very balanced in watering almost the ground, as well as putting a pool of water back into the pool of the ocean here. And I feel like she's almost one with the earth, with the universe. As she taketh, she puts it back. And there's ebb and flow, there's giving and receiving. And you're very much in your element. You're very much in the flow of the universe next week. So just go with it. And no matter how crazy or chaotic, just remain in this state. And if you start fluctuating, like if one cup is not pouring out, or this cup, you know, tend to have both cups going, kind of. I don't know how to put it into words what I'm getting actually, but it's just make sure you're in the flow, that you feel very balanced. You have 1 foot on the ground, 1 foot in your pool of emotions, and she's very balanced and feeling at one with the earth and the world and the universe. And that's what I'm really getting from this card for some reason for next week. No matter all the crazy, just remain, I feel like, really zone in on this picture and stay in this mood. So in touch with the universe and in the flow. And the stars are shining on you and all your efforts. And just know that this is the state of being. I don't know why it's coming up so strongly for next week, because I think a lot's going to be going on. And okay, and the next part is justice. I love that this card came up, because this is giving us almost like that sign of approval and explanation point that there's justice here. Justice will be granted to you for all your efforts that you've been going and doing and striving for. Some conclusions could be happening next week that's very justified and in your favor. So whatever you've been working on, you could be receiving the good word, you can be getting the positive feedback, you could be getting whatever. I don't know why also this truth, the sword, it's like a cutting away of the nonsense and of all the other stuff, and here we're having a balanced conclusion. So maybe something you've been working very hard on and standing in your integrity with. I don't know why this is coming up, but I'm saying whatever I'm getting. There's going to be a balanced justice in whatever comes and transpires next week. So that's really positive. You have the star here for your efforts, and you have justice. So something is going to be happening next week that's in your favor, and that's 2 major arcanas too. So you have the star and the justice. So there's something very divine that you've been doing the work, and you're coming from a very balanced place. You have listened to your intuition and divine guidance. You've survived the ebbs and flows of everything to get to this place. It's a lot of work that happens before you get to the star card. And here you have justice, and it's saying this whole journey has not been in vain. There's justice coming, there's positivity, a good offer, something. And I'll show you the crowning cards, because this justice means a lot, and it will tie into these crowning cards. The third card we have Another major arcana, I didn't even notice that before, the Lover's card. And if you look at this card, it could be with your relationships, but this could also be work-wise. It could be with anyone, two people coming together. It could be a commitment, an agreement with other people, working with other people, but it's harmonious. This is two like minds, two like hearts, commitments, agreements with other people, and this is all favorable. When you have these three arcana cards coming up next week, it's showing you're on your divine path. The stars are aligned. There's justice with you working with other people and coming together with these agreements. And you couldn't get a better scenario. I think we've all been really working really hard. Look at these three arcana, major arcanas here. You have the Star Justice and the Lovers. There's something really major happening next week that's really pivotal. And let me show you the crowning cards because this will highlight what this all means. I pulled three. So the first one is the Ace of Swords, which is new truth, new ideas, new commitments, new agreements, new aha moments. It's new ideas and thoughts, a new agreement, a new offer, something that comes in and just blows everything else away. It's a new, and it's divine here. It's, the additional card was the Death card here. Well, I call it the Death card. It's the Ten of Swords. It's a completion card. Something's ending. And then you have the Queen of Cups. To me, highlighting this, the Star, the Justice, and the Lover's card, I'm telling you right now, something's coming in with your partnerships, with working with others next week. There's justice involved with. This is, I think, another person, them coming in with this new idea, this new thought, this new agreement, this new offer. Something new is going to be settled next week, completed next week, that is just going to fill your cup. Your cup is just, you are going to be, this has been, you've poured your heart and soul into this work, and now you're getting that offer, you're getting that agreement, you're getting that yes, which is completing something you have worked so hard on, and it is just filling your cup. You created this. You put your blood, sweat, and tears in this. You're very passionate about this, and it's being completed. So it could be a job offer. It could be an agreement. It could be a business contract coming in. It could be a settled deal. It could be some kind of offer that I really believe it's because of the path you've been on. It's divinely led you to this point. The stars are aligned. There's justice here, very justified. And the Lover shows me it's been a favorable agreement, favorable connections with others, a partnership of some kind. And this could be business or love, but definitely something, an offer of some kind, or a new deal or a new offer, something is going to be completed, and it's going to fill your cup. Like, you also, this has been an act of, you poured your blood, sweat, and tears into this, heart and soul. So you've been very passionately, very, and also the Queen of Cups, it's just favorable, will fill your heart. That's what I just think. And then why? Because let me show you the energy cards, which I also crowned with tarot cards as well. The energy next week from the 3rd to the 10th is the Garden and the Gate. And the Garden and the Gate says to me, she's behind the gate. Out here is the field of abundance. And you have access to go through this gate to this field of abundance. Let's just make a brief description of that. And it was crowned with the sun. This is just amazing when you think of the sun as divine guidance. And look, she is in the pool of water, which to me is like this Queen of Cups with the sun shining on her. You know what I mean? You're going to be feeling, and it's one, you're going to feel at one with the universe. There's something justified in this. The sun is shining on you next week. You not only go through this garden and the gate, but it's a bright sunny day when you do. You're in this field of abundance and the sun is shining on you brilliantly. That's the feeling and the energy of next week. I feel it's been a long journey even to get to this gate. I feel you have been looking longingly into this garden and wondering when that sunny day was going to finally appear, when that justice was going to appear. And it has, it will, next week. And I say that because the crowning cards of the tarot, I was like, so what does this mean? We're now not only in the garden, but the sun is shining on us, and we're in this pool of water like the Queen of Cups. What is this coming from? And this is the journey in the tarot. We have been the high priestess. We have been divinely guided. We're very in touch with our intuition. And all through this journey to get to the star, we have relied on our intuition, our divine guidance. There were times when we were like, what's coming next? We were, I know this is typically the boredom card, but it's not that to me. It's, we've done all this work to fill our cup and it's still not enough. Like, where is that divine cup coming in? We needed help from the divine almost to grant us this other cup that's going to liven us up again. We've been doing all the work here and it's like, where's that divine cup to bring us to the next level? And maybe we didn't even see this cup, but it was slowly coming into view and we were impatiently waiting, like with our arms crossed, like, so where is this? Because I've done the work and I remained intuitively guided, and I trusted and I believed and I worked really hard, and I got all the way to this gate with the promise of this garden. And finally the sun is shining, the gate is opening with this cup coming in, and look at this, it's celebratory. We finally get to this moment of feeling the celebration. The sun is shining on us, and we made it. We made it in the gate, and it's a sunny day. We did all the work. Something is being completed next week, and it's very justified because we hung in there through this journey to get to the star, to get this moment where it's, you know, where justice is finally coming in with this agreement with others. We waited for so long for this completion and feel like the true Queen of Cups in this sunny day, in this water field with the sun shining on us, celebratory. We did it. And because we remained the high priestess and we trusted when we stood at the garden of the gate that we would get access to this garden. I mean, we did the work and it's all coming through. I really believe it's all coming through next week. I want to get some, let's get some mystical wisdom for next week. But something really good is going to be happening next week, and it's really being completed because of the hard work. And it's finally divine timing. And they're still banging upstairs. So I feel like we still have to work next week really hard to achieve this. But it's not in vain. You know, they're still plugging away upstairs, which means like our work isn't done. We are going to have to still keep banging away next week, but there's good justice in here for us. Definite justice. And something is going to be completed next week that's going to be good. That Queen of Cups, meaning, ooh, this is going to be a good completion next week. Okay, so let's see what our mystical wisdom is. Let's see what card wants to fly out. Ooh, okay. Oh, wow, competition. Look at this fabulous card. Summon courage and self-confidence. Yeah. I don't really think it's competition in the sense that it's more about this bottom line, summon the courage and the self-confidence. Keep going. Keep going like that tiger. Be courageous in what you're trying to achieve next week. Keep going. Believe in yourself. Believe in this next week. It's the self-belief that you can achieve and accomplish what you want. Let's see, another card. Mystical wisdom for us. And I feel like we're being a tiger. Ooh, going after what we really want and need. Especially with this major arcana here. I mean, we've gotten to this point. We're not giving up here. We have to have courage and self-confidence to keep going. And here we have, ooh, legends. Learn from those who inspire you. Okay. Learn from those who inspire you. We might be actually getting some tips and advice along the way next week that further our confidence and our courage next week. You know, if you need to take a moment to fill your own cup to keep going, definitely do that. You need someone to pump you up, do that. You know, just remain confident. Next week is just going to be a real go-getter kind of week. And you're not going to be discouraged here. You're just going to keep going. No matter what the competition looks like or what the... I don't like the word competition. Just whatever's going on in the outside world, just keep focused on your own stuff. Do what you have to do. Know that the star is on you and there's justice here. And you have access to this garden in the gate. And it's a sunny day in that garden. I know I'm talking like in metaphors, but this has been a long road to get there. And something is coming to completion next week that is going to be celebratory. Do we have another mystical wisdom? The mystical wisdom is kind of letting me down a little bit. I'm not really getting clear messages. I'll pick this last one and then I'll pick up some more. Here we go. And it says, live life to the fullest. Yeah, well, we are living life to the fullest next week because we got a lot to get accomplished next week. We got a lot going on next week. Remain in your power. Let's get some goddess guidance because this mystical wisdom wasn't really giving me additional advice for this particular reading. Oopsie. Hold on a second. I mean, it's good to say live your life to the fullest and summon courage and remain in that self-belief, but we need some additional advice. So what's the goddess guidance advice? Then maybe I'll pull some guardian angel. Let's get some goddess guidance. What's some goddess guidance advice for next week? As we step into this garden, finally, oh my God, something's getting completed, and we're working so hard. Oopsie. Okay. We have boundaries. Interesting. Love yourself enough to say no to others. Demands on your time and energy. Okay, so this is going to be advice on how to get this done and everything. You might have to have some boundaries on... God, they're really banging away upstairs all of a sudden. I feel we're going to have to decide what we need to truly work on next week. So having some boundaries on what's just going to sap your time and energy and what you really need to focus on and work on. All of a sudden, the working upstairs got louder. At the same time, I had that thought. So I really think that we're going to have to be judgmental and critical about where we're focusing our time and energy to get this accomplished. I think there could be like 5-10 things pulling at us. We're going to have to prioritize and get the top 3 done. So we're going to have to utilize our boundaries and keep in mind what's working for our benefit, what we can maximize, what's most important. Everything, other things can be put on the back burner. We have things to accomplish next week, and we're not going to be deterred because we are the star. And if we look back at why I kept holding up this card, for some reason it seemed so important. And remember when I said, I was like, for some reason, this stuff is like stuff going all around you, a lot of stuff going on around you. I mean, that's never come up before when I look at the star card. So I feel like, I mean, I've never focused on the star card in this fashion, so I think it's important that no matter what's going on next week, and there might be a million things, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, there might be like 7 things going on around you or something, it feels like. But you have to be very focused on what is really going to be fruitful, what's really going to make sense, what's going to bring you to this conclusion, happy ending, celebratory. You're going to have to filter out and remain very focused, calm, and diligent in what, having right boundaries on what to focus on to get the most important done. I think that's really important actually for next week, especially with Mercury retrograde, because then it's not really working in our favor, but then yet it is this time for some reason. We're still going to be getting a lot done. It's not going to be the usual Mercury retrograde where everything goes mishmash. I think there are planets that are allowing a lot of things to be actually done in the physical for some reason. And so just remain focused on what's... See, look, the banging stopped upstairs. And I didn't stop the video. It's like, remain focused no matter what happens on the outside world. Oh my gosh, look at this. Oh my gosh, yes, fertility. Yes, look at this, look at this, look at this image. Oh my goodness, this is it exactly. It is the perfect time for you to start new projects, access new ideas, and give birth to new conditions. Yeah, no matter what. We're birthing a lot. Next week, we're working on a lot next week. This is to have the proper boundaries to make sure that whatever you've been working on, you're properly giving birth to next week. You know how when you give birth to a baby, you have the labor pain, well, you have the 9 months and everything else. You have the act itself, you have 9 months, then you have the work of actually getting your creation out. And this is the prime time for this fertility to reach completion. You do not want to be distracted by anyone banging upstairs or banging to your left or the right. No, no, no. You've come all the way to this point, to the star. Justice is here with your partnerships and agreements. This is the time to give birth. Look, the lovers, the lovers give literal birth. They come together and give birth. This is your time to give birth. Something is coming to conclusion next week. You're giving birth. And don't get distracted by people who are sapping your time and energy that you need to give birth. You know what I mean? Okay, wow. I'm going to stop there because that gave me everything that the other cards did not. I mean, that is it. Boundaries so you can give proper birth. Okay, let's see what heaven wants to say. Let's see if heaven, our loved ones who have passed on, if they have anything that they'd like to give us advice for next week. I know already, they're so proud of us with what we've accomplished. I mean, it almost doesn't even have to come out in a card. I feel it, my whole, I just smile. I know they're so proud. They know that we've worked so hard. They know we've done most of it on our own. We really did it on our own, a lot of us. And it's they're so proud. I just feel that all the time. And just now, it just makes me smile. They know everything. They know what you're going through. They know where you've been. They know what you want, desire, what you're working for. They know the journey it's been. Let's see what kind of advice they have for next week, this week, the 3rd to the 10th. What would you like to tell us? Oh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Look what came out. Spread your wings and fly. We are proud of you. Didn't I just say they're so proud of us? I have chills. I could cry. Spread your wings and fly. We are proud of you. Just drink that in for a moment. This is your week. Spread your wings and fly. We are proud of you. They're so proud of you. They know you've worked so hard that you're always trying to accomplish. They know this. They know what a journey it's been to get to this point. And they're saying to you, we're so proud of you. Spread your wings and fly next week. We are so proud of you, and this is you. I love this reading. I don't want to pull any more cards, actually. I was going to pull some more. I just want to end it with that. Spread your wings. Fly. They're so proud of you. Keep going. The stars are aligned on you next week. No matter what you're trying to accomplish, remember to have your boundaries. You can't afford people to sap your energy, drain you, take time and energy away from what you need to do. And there's a lot to do next week. And so remain, you're giving birth. There's fertile ground. You've given birth. You've been carrying this baby, basically. And something's coming to completion. And the sun's shining on you. It's celebratory. There's justice here. Just keep working hard and know they're so proud of you, and have a fabulous week. All right, so check out my channel for other readings and take care. Bye bye.